O listener, close your eyes for a moment and let your heart travel back to the land of Mecca, to a time when the Kaaba stood in its simplicity, when there were no tall buildings, no noise or clamor, only the desert winds and the light of the stars, and a luminous night ready to unveil its secret. This was the night for which centuries of prayers had been raised, the night for which the eyes of Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, had prayed, the moment for which the entire universe had been waiting. And then that blessed hour arrived, when Allah showered His mercy upon the world by sending His beloved Prophet. In the chamber of Lady Amina, R.A., a wave of peace spread. In the heavens, lights poured forth, and the moment came when the seal of the prophets entered this world. The earth and skies rejoiced, trees bowed in prostration, palaces trembled, and the proclamation resounded everywhere that the mercy to the worlds had arrived. Abdul Muttalib, R.A., ran to the Kaaba in joy and offered prayers of gratitude, his eyes brimming with tears, for in his family had been born that child whose coming the people of the book had long awaited, the child foretold in the Torah and the Gospel. That child was Muhammad, peace be upon him, born an orphan, yet destined to become the support of all creation, the comfort of his mother's arms, and the guardian of the orphans. The childhood of the Prophet, peace be upon him, was filled with light and miracles. Whenever he walked, the ground seemed to shine with his radiance. Lady Amina, R.A., would recount that when he was born, she saw the palaces of Syria illuminated and light spreading to the farthest corners of the universe. Whenever Abdul Muttalib looked at him, an extraordinary tranquility descended upon his heart, for he knew this was no ordinary child, but a divine gift. The women of Mecca yearned to hold the baby in their arms, but destiny entrusted him to Halima Sa'diya, R.A. She was a woman of poverty and hardship, her caravan weak and her animals frail. But the moment she took the orphan Muhammad, peace be upon him, into her arms, Allah changed her destiny. Her camels grew strong, her breasts overflowed with milk, and her caravan outpaced all others. She herself testified that this child was a source of pure blessing. Miracles began in his earliest years. One day, while playing with other children, 2 angels descended, opened his chest, removed his heart, and cleansed it of a black clot before filling it with light. This event, known as the splitting of the chest, Shaqq al-Sadr, was a sign that this child would one day cleanse the world of sin. Halima, R.A., grew fearful and returned him to Mecca, where Abdul Muttalib embraced him, and his upbringing continued with Lady Amina, R.A. Yet trials had already begun. At just 6 years old, he lost his mother, becoming even more of an orphan. Abdul Muttalib then raised him, but only for 2 years before passing away, after which Abu Talib, though poor, took him in with immense love and care. As the Prophet grew, he became known throughout Mecca for his honesty and trustworthiness. People called him As-Siddiq, the truthful, and Al-Amin, the trustworthy. Whenever someone had valuables to safeguard, they placed them with him. Even in youth, he never joined in frivolous play. Instead, he carried himself with dignity and wisdom. When the Quraysh disagreed over who should place the black stone Hajar al-Aswad in its position during the rebuilding of the Kaaba, they chose Muhammad to decide. With wisdom, he spread out a cloth, placed the stone upon it, and had each chief lifted together before setting it in place with his own blessed hands. Thus he resolved their conflict with grace. He also proved unmatched in trade. Lady Khadija, R.A., a noble and wealthy merchant of Mecca, entrusted him with her caravan. His honesty and skill brought profits beyond expectation, and her servant Seerah observed clouds shading him and miracles surrounding him. Deeply impressed, Lady Khadija proposed marriage, And thus the most honorable woman of Mecca gave her heart to the most honorable man of all creation. At the age of 40, the long-awaited moment arrived. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would often retreat to the cave of Hira, reflecting upon the signs of Allah. One night in Ramadan, as he worshipped, the angel Gabriel, peace be upon him, appeared and commanded, "Read." The Prophet replied, "I am not one who reads." Jibreel embraced him 3 times and then recited the opening verses of Surah Al-Alaq, "Read in the name of your Lord who created." Thus began the revelation. Trembling, the Prophet, peace be upon him, returned home and cried, "Cover me, cover me." Lady Khadija comforted him, assuring him that Allah would never forsake a man who supported the poor, the orphans, and the oppressed. Then she took him to Waraka ibn Nawfal, a learned man of the people of the book, who confirmed, "This is the same angel that came to Moses. You are indeed the prophet foretold." With this, the mission of prophethood began. The first to embrace Islam were Khadija, R.A., Abu Bakr, R.A., Ali, and Zayd, R.A. Yet opposition soon followed. The Quraysh mocked, persecuted, and tortured him and his followers. Still he remained steadfast. In Taif, the people drove him away with stones until his feet bled. Yet he raised no curse upon them, only prayed, "O Allah, guide my people, for they know not." O listener, this story is not just history, it is the light of faith. It reminds us that the life of Muhammad is mercy itself, his example a guide for all humanity. If you seek success, attach your heart to his sunnah, embody his noble character, and bring his teachings into your life. This story never ends, for the Seerah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, continues to illuminate hearts until the day of judgment. And if this faith-inspiring story has touched your heart, then subscribe to our channel, for here you will hear every day the fragrance of such stories that bring peace, faith, and love for the Prophet, so that your heart beats with his love and your life becomes filled with his divine light. Rose.